Dealers, proud sponsors of Big Ten basketball. Also brought to you in part by your quality Michigan Buick dealers.
The Hoosier State is steeped in basketball tradition. This year, the spotlight's been on West Lafayette, where the Purdue Boilermakers, led by the Big Ten Player of the Year, Stephen Scheffler, the leading collegiate shooter in the nation, have exceeded everyone's expectations in fashioning a 21-6 record and top 20 ranking. Michigan is the home of the reigning national champions, the Michigan Wolverines, but this year, their Big Ten title aspirations ran into a roadblock at East Lansing. It is the Spartans of Michigan State, led by the explosive 6'6" Steve Smith in backcourt, that have stormed to the head of the class in the Big Ten by virtue of a 9-game winning streak. Today, the Jack Breslin Student Event Center is shrouded in fog on the outside, but what's at stake inside is crystal clear. Purdue challenges Michigan State with a Big Ten title on the line. Raycom Sports and Entertainment presents Big Ten Conference Basketball. Brought to you by Budweiser, by Ford, by Pizza Hut, by U.S. Air, by Gillette. What a difference a year makes for these two. Purdue and Michigan State were second division of the Big Ten a year ago. Today, they are at the head of the class. Michigan State leading Purdue by 1 game. They play for the title here today. Hi, everybody. I'm Wayne Larrabee. Earlier this year, Purdue lost to Michigan State and West Lafayette, and that's the difference between these two teams. And Bill Hoskett, this amounts to a championship game, and it's fitting that we have the two best players of the conference with us today.
Well, Purdue has a great center in Stephen Scheffler, and this fella is physically the strongest guy in the Big Ten, and he's headed toward a new record of 77% from the floor. Of course, in the backcourt for Michigan State, Steve Smith, and he's created unbelievable matchup problems all through the Big Ten this year. He has a rare combination of good height, 6'7", and phenomenal quickness. He scored 98 points in his last 3 games.
Well, Bill, it'd be easy for us to get into the hype of a game like this, but very simply put, these are two blue-collar teams who've come a long way, farther than anyone expected. Today, they play for a Big Ten championship.
Right now, U.S. Air is offering low fares on some very special seats. Seats in the warm sunshine of Florida, California, Arizona, Puerto Rico, and the Bahamas. So if you're planning a vacation this year, all you have to do to reserve any one of these seats is call us and reserve one of ours.
Attaboy, Johnny. Attaboy.
Mitchell with the ball. Up to the right. Comes in.
Attaboy. Yeah, that's it.
To the basket. Mitchell shoots. Oh.
The board, Joe. Use the board.
As a proud sponsor of the NCAA, Pizza Hut salutes all the Charlie Mitchells out there, because we know how hard it is not just to make it, but to make it great.
Seconds remaining, Eastern Regional Finals. Mitchell, right side of the lane, jumps, shoots, he scores! Charlie Mitchell at the buzzer!
Attaboy, Johnny. Attaboy. Attaboy, Johnny. Attaboy.
Do I look like some little old lady who only drives to church on Sunday? I know what matters in a truck. I know this Ranger XLT has more room up here. And more features than I'd get on the same kind of Toyota or Chevy. And it's priced lower, too.
Ford Ranger, #1, for all the right reasons.
I mean, I didn't buy the best-selling compact truck in America by mistake.
The best-built American trucks.
Westland Center in East Lansing, Michigan, and we're just about set for the honoring of seniors here at Michigan State. It is Seniors Day, their final home game. And, of course, those who are seniors, David Mueller on this team, and along with Ken Redfield. And let's go to the public address announcer, Scott Holt.
Basketball. The Michigan State University basketball program would like at this time to recognize 4 seniors who have made valuable contributions to Spartan basketball during their careers. Our first senior hails from Racine, Wisconsin. Join us in welcoming number 34, Dave Mueller. Our second senior is a native of Arlington Heights, Illinois, and with him are his parents, Ben and Carolyn Wolf. Number 24, Todd Wolf. Today's third senior comes from North Judson, Indiana, and with him are his parents, David and Sharon Manns. Number 10, Kirk Manns. And our fourth senior hails from Chicago, Illinois. And joining him are his mother, Nettie, and Uncle Stanley Johnson. Number 20, Ken Redfield. Our seniors, Dave Mueller, Todd Wolf, Kirk Manns, and Ken Redfield. And now here are the starting lineups for today's game. For the Boilermakers of Purdue at guard, a 6'2 sophomore from Richmond, Indiana, number 10, Woody Austin. At guard for Michigan State, a 6'2 sophomore from Inkster, Michigan, number 11, Mark Montgomery. At guard for Purdue, a 6'3 senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 25, Tony Jones. At guard for Michigan State, a 6'6 junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 21, Steve Smith. At center for the Boilermakers, a 6'9 senior from Ada, Michigan, number 55, Stephen Scheffler. At center for Michigan State, a 6'10 freshman from Detroit, Michigan, number 54, Mike Papronsky. At forward for Purdue, a 6'6 junior from Monrovia, California, number 23, Chucky White. At forward for Michigan State, a 6'7 sophomore from Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 35, Matt Steckinga. At forward for the Boilermakers, a 6'9 senior from Lafayette, Indiana, number 15, Ryan Burning. The other forward for Michigan State, a 6'7 senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 20, Ken Redfield. The Boilermakers of Purdue are coached by Gene Cady. The Spartans of Michigan State are coached by Judd Heathcote.
Let's take a look at the 4-game plan for this afternoon's Big Ten Championship game.
Well, Purdue is concerned about Steve Smith, and they have to control him. He's been on the tear as of late. They're concerned about the defensive boards. Michigan State very active and number 2 in the conference in rebounding and transition defense. This club runs well. Michigan State gets it up and down the floor. As far as Michigan State is concerned, they have to try to control another Steve, big Stephen Scheffler. They have to stay active on the offensive glass. This is one of the keys to their victories all year long, and they're concerned about their free throw shooting. It's their only weakness. They're 9th in the conference.
Pizza Hut starting lineups. There you get a look at it. Burning, White, Scheffler, Austin, and Jones for Purdue. Redfield sticking up. Paplowski, Smith, and Montgomery. Should be pointed out, Paplowski, one of the few people in this conference and in the nation, really, that can go at Steve Scheffler physical the way you'd like a center to do. There's a look at the officials for this afternoon's game. Jim Bain on the left, Ed Hightower in the middle, Sid Rodeheffer on the right side. Good crew of officials, veterans from the Big Ten.
Well, you mentioned those matchups in the middle. Very strong players going inside today. Scheffler bench presses 350 pounds. And, of course, Paplowski, he weighs 270.
Purdue leading the series overall. Michigan State won earlier, February 3rd of this year. In West Lafayette, it was the worst game of the season for Purdue. From an offensive standpoint, they shot just 28% from the field. Scheffler on the tip with Stenging up at center court. Purdue in the dark uniforms, Michigan State in the home whites. Tap was back tap to Stenging up, a lead for Redfield.
Great look from Steve Smith as he gunned it inside to Redfield for the slam. And 15,000 are on their feet.
The veteran Purdue Boilermakers go to work offensively for the first time. This is Woody Austin. Tony Jones, the senior guard. Chucky White. Purdue wants to control tempo. Redfield a little over-aggressive defensively that time. Picks up the first foul of the game, and that quiets the crowd. First on Redfield, first on the team.
Trying to control it early are the officials. Little hand check out on front.
An emotional ball game here today. The officials want to establish control early. Scheffler comes out high.
Both coaches anticipate this one being relatively low scoring.
Off the hands of Chucky White. It'll belong to Michigan State.
These two clubs are 1 and 2 in the league in defense. Scoring defense, Purdue is the leader, Michigan State second. Really play tough man-to-man.
And Bill, you mentioned Purdue's concern rebounding in this game. Michigan State, the second best rebounding team in the Big Ten. Stenging up. Finds Paplowski. No, but a foul.
Well, they look like they're a little weave out on top. Stenging just didn't hand it off to Smith. Took it all the way around the horn. Dumped it inside to the big kid. It doesn't go, but Paplowski will go to the line shooting a pair.
Scheffler's first personal. That's the first on the team. Paplowski missed about 3 weeks earlier this winter with a knee surgery. He has really been hounded by knee problems since his senior year of high school. Missed all of last year with that knee injury and has the right knee heavily strapped.
Good rhythm on both of those free throws.
Michigan State, the first 4 points of the game.
They give Chucky White a little bit of room on the outside, trying to help out inside on Scheffler.
Picked away by Montgomery. Doesn't have the numbers in his favor. Wisely pulls it out.
That's what they like to do off the steals. They get out and run. Montgomery using good judgment that time.
Minute and a half gone by. First half, Purdue yet to score. Redfield. Tipped away by White, out of bounds. It'll belong to Michigan State. White, a junior college transfer. Has developed nicely for Gene Cady up front, along with Burning and Scheffler. This is a veteran Purdue team. Take a look at the turnovers early in this game. Steve Smith. Been on fire recently. Montgomery from the corner. Paplowski back tapping the rebound, gets hit with a foul. That's his first and the second on Michigan State.
Paplowski putting the body on Purdue inside. Judd Heathcote pacing to the far end of the bench. No foul upstairs. He got the ball cleanly, but bumped him with the body.
This is an important game for both teams, but they both realize there's another game coming up in the NCAA tournament. Therefore, if one would have his druthers, you would take a sour note today rather than next week, where it will cost you the season. White missing from the free throw line.
They've been giving him a lot of room. That time he had that free throw jumper.
Poplawski to Steginger. Over White.
Oh, nice fadeaway jumper. He has good range.
Spartans have scored the first 6 points of the game. 17.5 to go first half. Scheffler bumping with Poplawski. Double team momentarily. Gets it away. Chucky White bumped Steve Smith on the rebound tip. On White, his first and the second on Purdue.
Well, White is going to have an open path to the basket to get to the offensive glass as you look at Gene Cady making his first substitution, because they're giving him so much room, and then when the shot goes up, nobody blocks out Chucky White, so that time he was just a little too aggressive, and he'll go out for a rest.
White has a seat on the bench, and Jimmy Oliver reports on for Purdue. Oliver, a junior out of Menifee, Arkansas. Field goal shooting in the early going. Smith.
Tough job for Tony Jones, especially when they set the screen down inside. Smith with that good height advantage popped to the open spot and had the jumper gone.
Redfield hits the deck. It's offensive on the foul.
Tony Jones pushing off with the left arm, trying to force it along the baseline.
3 team fouls. That is the first on Tony Jones. A little over 3 minutes gone by first half, and the Boilermakers yet to score. Good look. Steginger, Redfield.
Oh, fine pass from Steginger inside.
First 10 points of the game have been scored by the Spartans.
Purdue with anything but the start that they wanted, on the road and down 10.
Poplawski picks up his second personal foul. That's the third on the team as Scheffler has position inside. Watch the wide bodies.
Well, Michigan State has said they are not going to front Scheffler. They feel they've got the man big enough to play in behind him.
They do.
He's somewhat emotional.
Poplawski comes out of the game after picking up his second foul. We still have 16-14 to go in the first half. Parrish Hickman comes back on. Woody Austin leads the lineup for Purdue. The Boilermakers bring in Lauren Clyburn. This is Tony Jones, guarded by Redfield. Interesting matchups in this game.
We'll see if the strategy doesn't change a little bit with Hickman in there now going against Scheffler.
From the outside, Oliver leaves it short. Tony Jones following. Ryan Burning, the release man.
Both of these clubs very, very disciplined.
Scheffler to Clyburn, got a foul coming up on a reach-in by Steve Smith or Mark Montgomery. Both were there. Let's see who Ed Hightower has on it. It's on Steve Smith. His first personal. That's the fourth on the team.
Purdue with a lot of senior leadership, and you see it right here. They're not panicking. They're down 10 points, but they threw 5 passes that time at the offensive end.
Tempo really the key for Purdue. Michigan State is going to try to run a little bit more anywhere they play, but especially here at home against Purdue, they'll try to up-tempo it a little bit. Will the Spartans? The Boilermakers, well, their job is to play on the half court and work their offense. So the drought continues for Purdue. Clyburn with his second upcoming. Sophomore out of Detroit, Michigan. Southwestern High School. 15:51 left to go, and the Boilermakers are finally on the board, but they trail by 9. We'll return after these words.
Man, what a day. I could sure use a vacation.
Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold, bud.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah.
In a civilized society, a personal grooming lapse can result in a mortifying loss of station, so it behooves one to emanate the proper air. But with Right Guard Sports Stick, one gets maximum protection. And with a plethora of ambrosial aromatics, it is virtually impossible to pick up the wrong scent. Well, off to the foxes. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Introducing a Chevy for the privileged few. The special edition Cavalier VLS Coupe, available only from your Mid-Michigan Chevy dealer. Equipped with sunroof, rear deck spoiler, custom wheel covers, striping, an $895 package free. Act now. A limited number of these special Cavaliers are available from just $7,002. See your Mid-Michigan Chevy Geo dealer now. Team 1, Charlotte, Andrews, Mason, and Frank Beck Chevrolet, Hillsdale.
This broadcast is presented by authority of the Big Ten Conference Incorporated, and it is intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or the use of this telecast without the express prior written consent of the Big Ten Conference is prohibited. Wayne Larrabee, Bill Hoskett. Jackie Breslin, center of the campus of Michigan State University, and the Spartans have scored 10 of the first 11 points of the ball game. I think the last time they played at Purdue held the Boilers to 29% shooting. Matter of fact, Michigan State has outshot 15 of 16 of Big Ten foes going into this week's action. Smith. Oliver, the rebound. Boilermakers have to get on the shine in terms of a field goal sooner or later here. There's 15 and a half to go in the first half. Tony Jones sets it up.
Double screen inside for Oliver. Pulled it out and didn't take it.
Oliver looking for room right here. Guarded by Stegginga, one of the better defensive players in the conference. Lauren Clyburn. 12 to go on the shot clock. 10 to go on the shot clock. Jones. Rebound Smith. The lead for Redfield.
Nice to play at home, isn't it? You get 2 bounces on the rim on your home court.
Gotta like the rims at home is right. That's part of what they're talking about when they say home cooking. Scheffler. Blocked from behind by Stegginga.
He leads the conference in block shots.
And expected
to be from a center.
He had 5 in the first game between these two teams.
Scheffler gets it inside. Puts it up with the left hand, and there he was. Stegginga with the block.
There were 7 blocks in that first game by Michigan State against Purdue in West Lafayette. Almost 6 minutes gone by. The Boilermakers yet to hit a field goal. Jones penetrating. Foul coming up here.
Good quick step that time by Tony Jones.
Fouls on Montgomery, his first, 5th on the team.
Montgomery sliding over to help out, but not there in time. Still leaning a little bit.
There's Gene Katie looking on, a bit concerned the way his team has gotten off in this ball game. Jones at the free throw line played in the World University games for Gene Katie, along with his teammate Steve Scheffler. By the way, that World University games team won a gold medal for the U.S. 3rd place on Purdue's career assist list with 466. Tony Jones.
And leading the Big Ten. Only fella in the league over 6 a game.
1 out of 2 is all she could do for Tony Jones. Again, almost 6 minutes gone by. Purdue yet to record a field goal. Their 2 points have come at the foul line.
Michigan State spreading the floor now. Montgomery,
this
Smith,
is where
and Redfield all outside.
This is where Smith is so dangerous. Redfield from deep for 2. He has 8 points.
And he's a senior that's known for his defense. Playing his last home game.
Well, I'd say away from the ball, Hickman and the big guy Scheffler are really going at it. From the outside, Tony Jones connecting. First field goal of the game for Purdue.
Took him over 6.5 minutes.
Montgomery working against Clyburn. This is Smith. Picked up by Oliver. Smith is a load at 6'6" on the perimeter. He's so quick. Nice move. Rebound Scheffler. Here comes Clyburn. Good look to Burning inside. Nice pass from Oliver.
Good job by the Boilermakers of getting out in numbers.
Redfield off the mark. Hickman the rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch apparently by Parrish Hickman. It'll belong to the Boilermakers. Judd Heathcote pacing anxiously despite his team's lead.
First bad shot taken really by Michigan State in the ball game. Hickman forced that one a little bit. Excuse me, Redfield forced it. Hickman losing it out of bounds.
12.5 to go first half. Burning for three. Scheffler the rebound. Purdue reloads. Jones. Boilermakers starting to put a string together here now.
They've scored on 3 straight possessions.
Montgomery at the point.
So after the real tough start, Purdue only down by 6.
Hickman. This is Redfield. Oh, we've seen a lot of Redfield at the point today, haven't we, on the perimeter? Stevens, the freshman. Burning claims the rebound.
Good blocking out by Purdue. Had 3 people walled off on the inside, and Burning pulled the rebound out.
Tony Jones going to work on Redfield. Purdue is back to within 6. They trailed by what, as many as 12 in this first half of play. Scheffler. Good ball movement by Purdue. Clyburn. Burning on the tip. Hickman the rebound. This is Stevens. Parrish Hickman.
Both of these clubs showing great discipline at both ends of the floor. Extremely well coached.
9 minutes gone by first half. The Spartan lead is 6. Smith. Rebound taken down that time by Jimmy Oliver. Here's Jones to Clyburn. Impressively done. Judd Heathcote and company need a timeout. They're going to make a couple of changes. I don't believe they're going to take a timeout, although here now they are. 10:44 to go. Spartan lead has been sliced to 4 in this first half of play as Purdue makes a run.
It's easy to see what Ford Aerostar has over Chevy Lumina APV because under Aerostar's exterior is a truly versatile minivan with 23% more cargo room than Lumina. Under here, 20% more horsepower and over 2 times the towing capacity. Under here, rear anti-lock brakes Lumina doesn't even offer. And this Aerostar is priced $952 under Lumina. Ford Aerostar. The facts are overwhelming.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
All right, what is that? I don't know. It looks like a bunch of old timber. Take a break, guys. I'll make a phone call.
Hello? You found what? No, don't move it. I'll be right there.
Canceling your plans for the weekend.
Don't worry, I'll call my old professor.
Professor Cornell?
We've got a major find here.
The 2 worlds of archaeology and architecture seem to have collided today.
Given me until Monday to find out more.
They can't do that. I'll call Washington.
AT&T. The place is literally crawling with activity. And from what I understand, time is limited.
We're getting there, but we need more. And we're trying.
Showing us a face. It's space.
Accommodations provided by Hilton Hotels, which offers frequent travelers the fastest route to a free hotel stay. Call 1-800-HILTONS for details.
Tony Jones making eye contact with Clyburn inside. Saw him all the way. And there's the result.
Take a look at it from this angle. It takes precision. You got to get that ball right where he can catch it and slam it through, huh?
Good play at both ends. Jones picking up his first assist of the ball game.
Purdue on an 8-0 run last 3 minutes. We get right back into this game. Smith. Stegginga. Michigan State led 14-2. Took Purdue, what, almost 6 minutes to get their first field goal?
Gene Cady up off the bench. He felt that Smith pushed off.
Stegginga! That snaps the streak. Gives Michigan State to get a 6-point lead. You know, it's interesting that Purdue has tried to control tempo throughout this first half, but they've been getting some easy buckets on the break, as we saw demonstrated a moment ago. Inside, this is White. Montgomery the rebound. Here comes Stegginga. Boy, the big people for Michigan State run the floor so well.
Boy, he is so versatile. He and Redfield give them a couple of corner men that can really run the floor and fill the lanes. Stegginga having an excellent first half.
4 unanswered Michigan State points since the timeout. Jones on the penetration leads for White. White loses to Hickman, and he drops it out of bounds.
Steven Scheffler taking a break right now for Gene Cady's Boilermakers.
Take a look at what's going on up front. Dominance, and that's unusual when you consider Purdue, and much of their strength is up front with Scheffler and Burning and White. Later on, Oliver coming in off the bench.
Smith going out now, and Todd Wolf checks in, an excellent three-point shooter.
Should be pointed out that Kirk Mans, who's been injured with a stress fracture in his, I believe, right foot, been out the last 3 weeks or so, or 3 games. He may be coming into the ball game today. He's dressed. Here comes another turnover, and Stegginga is on the move. Hickman, oh, taken away nicely by Clyburn, recaptured by Hickman, and now we get a foul. Foul going against Michigan State's Parrish Hickman.
There was the block inside, or the steal actually by Clyburn, and Hickman struggles to get the ball back. Eddie Hightower jumping right in with the call.
Parrish Hickman's first personal. That is the 6th on the team. Burning leaves, Scheffler back on, and I should say Burning leaving, and Woody Austin comes in for Clyburn. Scheffler's in for Burning in the Purdue lineup. So the backcourt is Jones and Austin. Up front, White, Scheffler, and Oliver for Purdue. Oliver was bumped that time by, rather, I should say Jones was bumped that time by Stegginga. And on Matt Stegginga, his first personal, team is over the limit.
Michigan State team foul number 7. Purdue is now in the bonus.
Bonus situation coming up. Gene Cady looking on and talking with Woody Austin. Austin yet to score here today, but he is within 1 3-point field goal made of leading the conference in 3-point shooting, and he's shooting well over 50% that category. Jones 1 out of 2 at the free throw line.
We should mention that Judd Heathcote and Gene Cady had a long talk before the game, and both of them actually do smile.
Well, you know, as important as this game is for the schools, for the coaches, for the players, for the fans, again, there will be another game after this one. Both these teams will be in the NCAA.
5 other clubs in the Big Ten hopeful of the same treatment. League feeling they have an excellent chance to send 7.
Well, I tell you what, after seeing Ohio State yesterday, there's no question they deserve to go. And Indiana, they beat Ohio State the other night. You saw that game on Thursday night. Certainly the Hoosiers are playing well right now and made a couple of great comebacks against Wisconsin and Ohio State to keep their tournament hopes alive.
Well, Randy Ayers has done a great job with Ohio State. Played super basketball the last 2 months, and Indiana didn't lose a game outside of the conference.
Stegginga, we've got a traveling violation coming up. Turnover number 2 for Michigan State with 8:59 to go first half of play. Spartans leading by 6. So the Boilermakers take over.
Neither team showing any full court pressure.
Oliver.
Clubs are walking it up the floor to one another, and when you get to the top of the key, the defense really sets in.
Tony Jones for 3.
Good screen on top, and Jones has done a great job of keeping his poise and getting his club back in this one.
10 points for Tony Jones, and over the years he has made himself a good outside shooter. Down low, away from the ball, we've got some pushing and shoving apparently, and a foul coming up. I believe Jones trying to fight through a pick. Gets called for the foul here. Tony Jones, second personal. That is the fourth on the team. And Gene Cady gave Ed Hightower an earful there. And Ed said, back off, coach, hang on. Said Heathcote. And there's Ryan Birney. The inbounds to Stevens with a little hook.
Good quick move inside by Stevens. Dropped that left foot and just rolled across the lane. Scheffler now coming up to the free throw line, setting that screen.
Here's Woody Austin. Tony Jones lets it go for three. 13 for Tony Jones, his second tray in a row. Boilermakers storming back to within 2. They had trailed by 12 earlier in this first half of play. Wolf can hit the tray. Stevens in the corner. Smith trailed by Burning this time.
Well, Steve Smith is just too quick for Ryan Burning, and he's too big for Tony Jones. So Purdue's trying to alternate defenders on him, and Smith solving it.
Burning trying to feed inside, denied by Steginga. He stepped out of bounds on the save attempt.
Great play by Steginga, getting out in the passing lane, and also made a heads-up play on the save. Even though he was on the inline, he tried to throw it all the way to his end of the floor.
7:26 to go. First half of play so far. This one's lived up to all we expected. Will return.
Budweiser presents What's Your Call? The freezer wasn't just the hero of Bud Bowl 1. He was the biggest thing since 12-packs. But for Bud Bowl 2, Bud Light made a trip to the appliance store, too, picking up some big players of their own. Can you name this trio of trouble? Bud Light signed the washer, the dryer, and the kitchen sink to long-term contracts. If that was your call, this Bud's for you.
This is no ordinary workshop because it's filled with master mechanic power tools from True Value hardware stores. From circular saws to cordless drills, professional quality master mechanic power tools can make the most of every job you face. And with their combination of power, precision, and performance, they're building quite a name for themselves. So bring out all the possibilities in your workshop with master mechanic power tools from participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Pizza Hut has a great new way to get your family together. An NCAA mini basketball. Now you can get one for only $2.99 with every Pizza Hut pizza you buy.
Yeah.
The mini basketball is fun to play with. And Pizza Hut knows that the family that plays together is always showing off. The mini basketball is just $2.99, but hurry, supplies are limited. Pizza Hut, making it great.
Travel arranged through U.S. Air. Whether you're traveling to Pittsburgh, Washington, or Philadelphia, chances are U.S. Air has a convenient flight going your way. U.S. Air, America's most frequent flyer. Just a reminder at halftime, Bill Hoskett and I will bring you up to date on the collegiate action around the country on the Budweiser scoreboard. Pleasure to have Michigan Governor Jim Blanchard with us here this afternoon.
Well, welcome back to Breslin here, and you're looking at what we hope will be a team of destiny.
Scheffler loses out of play.
And
Michigan State takes over.
I would say, right?
It should be pointed out that Governor Blanchard, and it's great to see you again, and we've had you on several times when we come here for Michigan State games usually, but you're a Michigan State alum, and you make no bones about it.
Oh, that's absolutely right. We're so proud of this team.
Wolf off the mark, Burning on the rebound.
Governor, do you like this facility just a little bit better than Jenison?
Oh, it is. We've been waiting for years for it. And we've christened it, I think, brilliantly with this season with Judd Heathcote's team. And really, it's a team of 8 or 9 players.
Scheffler inside. It's a team that's really come a long way. You could see it a couple of years ago when he had some good recruiting classes. The young kids have developed nicely for him.
Well, we thought it was a team of potential. It may well be the team of destiny. But right now, they've got to get the momentum back, as you know. The first 5 minutes of this game reminded me of the Magic season.
I'll bet they did. Governor Blanchard, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and we'll let you go back. Steve Smith. 6 points for Steve Smith.
Well, thank you. We'll see you in NC2A tournament.
All right. Take a look at the action again. Smith getting that step.
And Smith, boy, when he gets it going.
You mentioned he's got the spring in the legs, and 6'6" to begin with. He can get over anybody and make it happen. And even with a defender, Lauren Clyburn's not short. He's 6'5". Smith still has the ability to get up and over. There's a look at what he did the last time these two teams played.
And he's playing with tremendous confidence right now also.
Burning. There's White. Clyburn out front. We'll get to Scheffler again. Austin from three-point land. Woody Austin with his first three-pointer of the game.
He's got great range.
Well, that three-point shooting by Purdue has fueled their comeback. They're within 2 once again.
First game between these two clubs, they've made just 1 of 11 from three-point area.
Smith rims the bucket. Burning has to save, and does. Boilermakers have played with poise all afternoon. White in traffic, nearly tied up. 3-second violation called against Purdue. May have had a foot in the bucket there. Gene Cady wanted a foul.
The code is gone.
Yeah.
That's round 1.
All right, so we've established he wants to win this one, regardless of what's in store next week at the NCAA. Steggia has it blocked on the play.
3-on-2.
Austin. White. Purdue has hit some buckets in transition. The lead for Steggia, a bit too much from Montgomery.
And Purdue has tied it at 25 all and now has the basketball.
It's ironic they tied it on a fast break, because this is a team in Purdue that we mentioned in the early going would like to control the tempo and play this game on the half court. Take a look at the three-point shooting. Boilermakers have cut down a 12-point disadvantage. Loose in the lane. Scheffler picks up. 25 to go on the shot clock for the Boilermakers. Austin. I don't believe it'll count. The whistle came before the shot.
2 officials are conferring. Here's Judd Heathcote along the sideline.
He wants to be a third. He's not wearing the right shirt. Let's see if we can pick it up here.
Montgomery really pushed through the screen before the shot was taken.
Exactly. That's where the foul occurred. Jim Bain heads over to the scorer's table now, and he's going to call Montgomery on the foul. His second. Again, Michigan State is over the foul limit. Purdue picked up 3 fouls early in this game, but they only have 14 fouls, and Judd Heathcote not happy with the way that play worked out. White at the free throw line.
Ryan Burning had to come over to Gene Cady. He wanted an explanation of what was said. He was just too many feet away from that conversation.
Transfer from El Camino College in Torrance, California, Chucky White. White now with 3 points. All the Purdue scores now, all the Purdue starters have scored. First lead for Purdue in this ball game at 26-25. Break even is all he got at the line. They've had a couple of situations now where they've gone to the line and been unable to convert on both. A 1-point lead for Purdue. Smith for 3. Woody Austin picks off the board. Batted away by Redfield, picked up by Clyburn. Again, the discipline showing. Clyburn takes it right back outside and sets up.
Michigan State came out of the gate so well, and Purdue has gotten back into it with good half-court defense and patience on offense.
Clyburn looking inside, wants to go to Scheffler, and does. Steggia denies it, knocks it out of bounds. Scheffler touched it last. Second time we've seen Steggia come over, help out on the pivot, Knock the ball away, deny the interior feed.
He has good quickness and great anticipation.
Coming up on 4 minutes left to go, first half of play. Purdue has a 1-point lead after trailing by 12 early in this first half. Redfield bumps with Burning. Ryan Burning was not set defensively. He picks up his first personal, only the 5th on the team.
Michigan State started that sequence without really a low post player. Popowski went down and set the screen for Redfield, who then made his move individually. Burning not quite set. Picks up the personal foul.
And we've come to a break in the action with 3:56 left to be played. We are first half at the Breslin Center in East Lansing. We'll return after these words.
Considering all the people we serve, all the places we go, and all the times we go there, it would take a lot of airlines to be U.S. Air. U.S. Air, America's most frequent flyer.
I couldn't imagine owning anything but a pickup. And from what I know about hauling stuff, I couldn't imagine owning anything but a big Ford. You see, this Ford's got a longer, deeper box that can handle a bigger payload than any Chevy its size.
The big Ford pickup. Number 1 for all the right reasons.
Maybe that's why more folks drive Fords than any other truck.
The best-built American trucks are built Ford tough.
You've never seen a truck deal like this before.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Team 1 Chevy Olds in Charlotte. Buy any in-stock full-size truck, and Team 1 will pay each and every one of your car payments until 1991.
That's right. We'll make your truck payments for the rest of the year.
And then for the first time ever, Team 1 offers you $500 cash rebates on all in-stock Lumina APV and old Silhouette vans.
If you're in the market for a truck or a van, don't miss this sale.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it's a truck and van sale like you've never seen before, only at Team 1 Chevy Olds on I-69 next to Kmart in Charlotte.
Portions of today's program brought to you by Apple Computer and by B.F. Goodrich. Time now for our Goodrich performance test. In what years, and that's the key word, did Michigan State appear in the NCAA Final Four? I think we all remember the Magic era. Montgomery on the inbound. Here comes Woody Austin. By the way, we'll have the answer to that in the second half. White trying to break free, and it's knocked out of bounds by Michigan State. It'll belong to Purdue. Ryan Burning will toss in. Take a look at this from Michigan State. The start was great. Hadn't been so good since the first 7 minutes.
Well, really, the two clubs have just reversed position.
Yeah, they really have. Purdue holding a 1-point lead. In those first 7 minutes, Michigan State built a 12-point advantage. Oliver on the inbounds to Burning.
Steve Scheffler just went across the middle to set a screen. He sets a very serious pick in that middle. Right now, he's got Parrish Hickman pinned in behind him.
We haven't seen much of Popowski since he picked up his second personal foul. Austin. Rebound back down by Burning and chased down by Redfield.
Not a good shot that time down by Austin. Under pretty good contest.
Redfield to Montgomery. Wide open, he left it short. Oliver the rebound. This is Loring Clyburn.
Spartans continue to be cold.
Steve Smith made a lunge at the basketball as Burning took that pass, but quickly backed away, held his hands up as Jim Bain said, no, I didn't touch him. Purdue on the weave out front. They lead by 1. Scheffler inside on Hickman.
It's all over when he gets it in there.
Only 4 points for Scheffler on 2 for the field.
Showed a good little touch inside as he knocked it in off the glass on a little spin move.
Smith has it stripped away by Clyburn. Clyburn one-on-one with Montgomery. Tripped up from behind, perhaps. No foul called. He lost his footing. It'll belong to Purdue. Last touch by Michigan State, Gene Cady. And got a timeout taken by Judd Heathcote at this juncture. Michigan State still struggling to get on track. Inadvertent tripping by Montgomery. It looked like they tangled feet.
He thought he was fouled, obviously, from that reaction down along the baseline, but at least his club will retain possession.
2:35 left to go, first half of play.
What'd you say the temperature was here?
Well, I saw one sign that said, "The heck with Florida. We're going to the NCAA." I'm not aware if it is a student break here. It was at Michigan. You were there yesterday. The students are off at Michigan, but it is not a break here for Michigan State. They're not on spring break, and all the students are glad of that because they're here to enjoy this basketball game.
There they are.
I tell you, the weather, though, in Michigan has been, well, somewhat inclement. It's been difficult to get in and out of here. Purdue had a charter flight. They could not work out here yesterday because they had a commencement exercise of this building yesterday. So Purdue stayed at home and worked out at home, and they had a 4 o'clock charter flight scheduled to come up here. They had major storms in West Lafayette yesterday afternoon. They finally left about 2 hours late, flew all the way up to Lansing, circled, couldn't get in due to the fog, were one of the last planes to land in Detroit before they closed that airport. They had to wait a couple of hours for their bus to get down here from Lansing. And then they went back up to Lansing on the bus, got in about midnight, came over early this morning and shot a little bit.
That's the glamorous part of the Big Ten that you don't hear that much about.
So 2:35 left to go. First half of play. Take a look at it. Spartan field goals from the front line, and the guards have not been able to get on track for Michigan State. Purdue sets it up. Scheffler. And it knocked away, but he was fouled. Oh, they're spying Steve Smith for reaching in. He says to Ed Hightower, "I did nothing of the sort." But Ed had a good look at it.
Well, a lot of people inside on that sequence would have lost the basketball, but Scheffler is just simply too strong. He gets his paws on it inside. He's not about to give it up. And Michigan State had him completely surrounded that time in the lane area as he made the catch.
Somebody told me Scheffler always says thank you when he gets the ball from the official. Politest center in the Big Ten. He's got 5 points now.
Well, you're supposed to be polite to the official.
Are you saying that it may have an effect in your favor down the stretch?
No, I'm saying you're not quite as polite to the guy guarding you. Especially when you can bench press 350.
Hey, it's been a while since the Spartans have put a marker on the board. They've made one of their last 6 shots. And they now trail by 5 after leading by 12 earlier in this first half of play. Smith trying to create inside. Jump ball indication. They tied him up cleanly. On the alternating possession, the arrow points to the favor of Purdue.
Well, Michigan State was in their 1-4 with Steve Smith controlling it out on top. He took it inside. And Clyburn with a good defensive play.
Absolutely.
Steve Smith feeling he was fouled. Ball goes back over to Purdue.
When you consider it took about 6 minutes for Purdue to score from the field, they trailed 14-2 after about 7 minutes had gone by in this first half of play, and now Purdue leads by 5. Clyburn off the pick by Burning.
Burning and Redfield both went down, no call.
Woody Austin, Scheffler inside against Stevens. Burning for 3. Yes. 5 for Ryan Burning, and the lead stretches to 8 for Purdue.
Great play by Scheffler that time. He caught it in the low post, had the man on his back, but rather than try to force a move, he pitched it back outside to Burning for the open 3-pointer.
Boilermakers on a 13-0 run. Minute and a half to go, first half. Oh, good look, Montgomery. Redfield over to Stevens. Rejection by Burning. Staying on. No, but he was fouled. Ryan Burning, second personal, 6 on the team.
Michigan State wanted goaltending on the block. Ball still on the way up as it appeared from that angle. Steginger with a good second effort, and he was fouled.
Michigan State hasn't scored a field goal in the last 5 minutes of this ball game. A look at the free throw situation. Purdue was breaking even early, and now they're up to 70%. Michigan State is generally a decent free throw shooting team.
But this year shooting only nearly 65%. And
in Big Ten.
When you take Kirk Mans out of there, who's shooting 85%. And he's missed the last few ball games with that stress fracture.
Judd's always had good free throw shooting teams, it seems like, down through the years, but not this year. About 68% overall is Michigan State. Stegigo puts in on a pair. 8 points. That stops the run by Purdue, at least temporarily. Under 2 minutes to go first half. Scheffler.
Stevens giving Scheffler room out anywhere over 8 or 10 feet from the basket.
White. Jimmy Oliver. There's Lauren Clyburn. Bears watching at the three-point line. Scheffler backing in on Stevens. Clyburn loses the dribble. It's up for grabs on the floor. The tie-up occurs, and this time the arrow points in the direction of Michigan State.
Boy, these clubs really playing good team defense. Cutting off the cutters. Ball goes across the lane. Wolf reacting to it a little bit late, but he goes on the deck after it.
Well, these teams embody the concept of team play. It's part of how they got to where they are today.
Yeah, both just overachievers. You looked at the talent preseason. Those folks had both of these clubs in the second division of the Big Ten.
Steggia inside Redfield.
Lost control of it as he went up. Just slipped out of his hand.
Clyburn, good change of direction move. Left it short. Offensive foul to call. First on Clyburn, and that would put Purdue over the foul limit.
Clyburn, an excellent athlete. He runs the floor very well, and he pushes it up on his own. That time a little too aggressively as he picks up the personal. So with 34 seconds left and the shot clock off, Michigan State has the ball back. They trail it by 6.
Make it 2 on Clyburn. Player control foul, so no shots. Michigan State sets it up. Todd Wolf out front, good three-point shooter.
Michigan State without a true center on the floor right now. Popowski on the bench. They show you the versatility that they have.
10 to go. First half of play, 8 to go. Smith for 3, blocked by Clyburn. Picked up by Stevens. Feeds Steggia with 2. Steggia won't go. Up for grabs on the floor as time winds down to this first half of play. End of 1.5 complete here at the Jack Breslin Center. It is Purdue leading 33 to 27. Back with more after these words. Today's Big Ten Conference game is being brought to you by Pizza Hut, by True Value, by U.S. Air, by Ameritech, and by Ford.
People who want that competitive edge also want the nutrition of 100% whole grain. But of these leading cereals, only Wheaties is made with 100% whole grain. So only Wheaties gives you whole grain nutrition. Better get your whole grain.
You better eat your Wheaties.
Here's the last stop on our tour. The Fountain of Youth.
This one's on me.
How about an ice cold bud, young man?
I love this job.
True Value Hardware, it's more than a name.
It really is more than a name. It's Paul recommending the best tools for the job, and Chester finding the perfect shade of blue. It's Gene helping with a heavy load, and Mary Ann knowing the right answers for a do-it-yourselfer. In fact, it's more than 6,000 independent stores nationwide who know that delivering personal service is our way of doing business.
Big Ten basketball fans, now's your chance to be a Big Ten expert by ordering the 1990 Big Ten Men's Basketball Yearbook. It's the same publication media members rely on for their coverage of conference basketball. Send $5 per book to Big Ten Yearbook, 1111 Plaza Drive, Schaumburg, Illinois, 60173. Order your copies today. Back at halftime, Purdue has fought back to take a 6-point lead over Michigan State. As we head into halftime, everybody, welcome back to the Big Ten Championship game. Wayne Larrabee and Bill Hoskeville, a tale of two halves. Michigan State off so strong in the first 7 minutes of the half, built a 12-point lead, and Purdue had trouble scoring from the field.
Well, usually on senior day, you see a club sometimes start very slowly. Just the opposite here today for Michigan State is they just exploded. Played very well early, and then Purdue did not panic, and I think that's a credit to their coaching staff and also their senior leadership. Tony Jones in the backcourt played a very steady first half and then got it going from outside. He ended with 13 in the first half, and Scheffler, the great center of Purdue, didn't force anything inside. He has 6 points at the half. Michigan State got a little careless in their offense once they built a big lead, and they forced a few shots. Purdue's done an excellent job in his first half on Steve Smith. He comes into the game averaging over 32 for his last 3 and has just 7 here.
Yeah, that's for sure. He didn't force anything either. But early in the ball game, of course, Matt Stegginger was a force on the defensive end with a couple of blocks early.
Well, he's played very well. And this Michigan State team, they're in front of their home fans. They've got a great coach themselves in the form of Judd Heathcote, so they'll be back in the second half. I think this one's going to go down to the wire.
And Gene Cady, as he headed off at halftime, seemed to have a little smile on his face. As there he gets a look at it. He got off to a slow start. His team didn't score from the field in the first 6 minutes of the first half. Yet at halftime, they have the lead by 6. We'll return to more of our halftime activities after these words.
Right now, US Air is offering low fares on some very special seats. Seats in the warm sunshine of Florida, California, Arizona, Puerto Rico, and the Bahamas. So if you're planning a vacation this year, all you have to do to reserve any one of these seats is call us and reserve one of ours.
I mean, what do I need a computer for? I'm not an accountant.
Then why should I be the company guinea pig? Why do I need one now? I've done fine without one. Can you imagine me working on a computer?
Macintosh has the power to change your mind about computers. The power to be your best.
So I was wrong.
Tell me. Is he still upset?
Well, you know Dad.
Never really understood why I joined. I mean, maybe you'll go straight to college. But I had to prove something to myself first.
The GI Bill and Army College Fund. If you qualify, you can get more than $25,000 for college and an edge on life.
You think Dad will ever come around? Dad?
BF Goodrich TA tires perform like great athletic shoes. They grab. They dig.
BF Goodrich TA tires.
BF Goodrich TA tires, the athletic shoes for your car.
BF Goodrich TA tires.
Ground transportation arranged through General Rent-A-Car. Good friends to know wherever you go with low rates and friendly service. General Rent-A-Car.
Purdue's a very warm kind of university. If you want it to be that, you can get lost at Purdue too. But I think it's a little hard to do that because there are so many people here who care about you and your success.
And if a little bit of subject matter gets remembered 10 years from now, I mean, that's a nice fringe. But basically, what we're dealing with here, I think, is an attempt to transform human beings.
What do these people have in common? The creator of a life-saving cancer cure, the designer of the world's most powerful cyclotron, the researcher whose team identified the largest known galaxy, a leading authority on African migration outside Africa, the first winner of the Van Cliburn Award, and the man who gives speech to the speechless. These people teach at Michigan State University. Our students have access to some of the nation's best faculty.
Back at the Jack Breslin Student Event Center, Purdue holding a 6-point lead over Michigan State. It is a pleasure to have the outgoing athletic director here at Michigan State, Doug Weaver, with us. And Doug, I don't know why you weren't out there with the seniors. This is your last home game, right?
Well, I had my chance to be out there with the seniors in 1953. I think once was enough, but delighted to be on with Raycom and always be glad to be with you.
Well, I tell you something, you've got an interesting dilemma going here. Not only do you have the Spartan basketball team playing great guns and heading to the NCAA, your hockey team's one of the best in the country.
Well, it is exciting, and as an example, we have our half of our pep band is here, and half of our pep band is in Joe Louis Arena, and they're going to drop the puck in our conference championship down there in about 2 hours. It's credit to all our coaches and our fans that we can produce 2 outstanding teams as we have this year.
Well, this building, this crowd, the enthusiasm, this is a dream type of situation for you.
Well, there was a time in Judd Heathcote's career when he said that I was dragging my feet on the Breslin Center since I'm an old guy and I love Jenison so much, but this has been a magnificent addition to our facilities along with the football building, our tennis facility, and it's just, I think it puts us at the top in the Big Ten, and certainly nationally we're competitive. But the best thing about it is that all the atmosphere, I think, and you've been both places, working both games, I think all the atmosphere of Jenison Fieldhouse transferred itself over here to Breslin, and a day like today is great Spartan spirit at its best.
Well, you did that by putting the students close to the floor. You've got the good local field.
They deserve it. The Student Event Center, they deserve to be here, plus we need them.
All right, listen, Doug, we wish you all the best. Great to see you.
Always glad to be with you.
All right, Doug Weaver, the outgoing athletic director here at Michigan State. We will return with more halftime activities after these words from your local stations. This is the Raycom Sports and Entertainment Network.
Quality Michigan Buick dealers unveiled the most attractive incentive ever for you to own a Buick. Introducing 6.9% financing for 48 months on Buick's most popular automobiles. The Regal, Century, the Electropark Avenue, the Skylark, and the LeSabre. 6.9 for 48 months. For undeniably affordable luxury, it's never been easier than now to move up to Buick, the new symbol for quality. See your quality Michigan Buick dealers today.
There are a lot of innovative ways to care for your teeth, but one way makes it easy for you to get the care you need at a price you can afford, which is why for the past 30 years, more companies in Michigan have trusted it. For easy, affordable dental benefits, nobody takes care of you like Delta, Michigan's #1 group dental plan. Delta, right where you belong.
Get ready for your vacation sun at Tanfaster Sun Tanning Centers.
Wayne Larrabee, Bill Hoskett, back at the Jack Breslin Student Event Center. At halftime, it is Michigan State trailing Purdue 33-27 here. And let's take a look at scores around the country on the Budweiser scoreboard. Mid-American final. This is tournament action now. Ball State leading at halftime over Central Michigan. Ball State beat Michigan State in this building earlier this year. The ACC final is coming up. Georgia Tech against Virginia. Virginia, Cinderella story in that tournament. Connecticut, talk about Cinderellas. They battle Syracuse with the Big East Championship later today. In the Big 8 Conference, no team embodies the word Cinderella more than Colorado. They knocked off Missouri in the first round of that tournament. Southwest Conference final, Arkansas and Houston later today. And in the Pac-10 final, it's UCLA against Arizona. Big 10 later today, Illinois against Indiana. And the Hoosiers looking to nail down an NCAA tournament berth if they haven't already. We'll return with a look at the statistics after these words.
Gillette announces a razor that can sense the individual needs of your face. Introducing the extraordinary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and adjust to your face for the best shave a man can get. Closer, smoother, safer. New Gillette Sensor.
I told him you can't hide from computers forever. He got burned once.
Already got one big expensive computer system in the storeroom. The only guy that could work it moved to L.A.
What good's a computer if nobody uses it?
I hear he's working on a new system.
He said he won't let his people work on anything he can't use himself.
Maybe this computer's different.
Macintosh has the power to change the way you feel about computers. The power to be your best.
I'll be.
It's part of the celebration and part of the game. It's a big night out and a warm welcome home. When the job's well done and you call it a day, it's there. And for 80 million responsible Americans, it's simply a good part of the good life. It's beer.
A message from Budweiser.
Today's Big Ten Conference game is brought to you by Buick, by Anheuser-Busch, by True Value, and by the U.S. Army. Wayne Larrabee, Bill Hoskett, and I'd say around 15,000 of our close personal friends. Take a look at the halftime stats from U.S. Air.
Well, both clubs with 11 field goals in the first half, but Purdue, they have 4 of 6 from three-point land. So that's the difference in the ball game. And in free throws, 70%. Michigan State, perfect from the free throw line. There are those three-point field goals we talked about. And, of course, Purdue doing a big job on the boards here today with 15 rebounds in the first half of play.
You mentioned that as a key. In Purdue, many of those turnovers came early in the first half. Offensive rebounding, Purdue 4-1 over Michigan State. Let's take a look at the scoring. And there is Tony Jones leading the way. Jones, 4 of 5 from the field. Scheffler just took 4 shots of that first half, hit 2 of them. The same for Burning, 2 out of 4 from the field.
Well, Scheffler makes 2 out of 4, and that hurts his percentage.
And for Michigan State, Steginger leading the way. 3 out of 4 from the field. Redfield, 4 out of 6. Smith, 3 out of 8. Montgomery yet to score in the first half. He is 0 for 3. Take a look at the guards shooting in this game. Purdue able to get it going from the outside. Michigan State, well, much of their scoring early in the game came from the front line. Smith, 3 of 8 from the field.
Well, 20 minutes of basketball left. These clubs played 17.5 league games at this point.
Should be pointed out, Michigan State did not record a field goal in the last 6 minutes, 27 seconds of the first half.
Big Ten championship on the line. Michigan State already with a share of the title. Purdue trying to get in that same position as they're still huddled around Gene Katie, waiting to come out.
I think it's a little strategy by Gene to let the Spartans sit out there a little bit. I guess not. I think not.
Not at this point in the season.
Ryan Burning will toss in to start the second half of play.
Redfield starting on Tony Jones. Great versatile defender, comes out and picks up one of the better point guards in the Big Ten Conference.
Scheffler backing in. The big guy, Poplawski, has 2 fouls. White rims the bucket. Poplawski screened out well on Scheffler. He's bigger than Scheffler. I mean, he's wider.
That's saying something.
Yes. If Scheffler's an aircraft carrier, Poplawski is 2 put together. Steginger into Smith, was bumped inside. And we've got a foul coming up. But Jim Bain, I believe, called traveling. Ed Hightower is quickly gone over, and he's going to change the call. He's going to call a foul here.
They call a foul on Scheffler.
Boy, this is good work by the officials here. I think Jim Bain may have been screened a little bit on that play. He saw Smith back up and travel, but he didn't see why he backed up and took the steps.
When you run into Scheffler,
yeah, you're
going to stop and you're going to back up.
Not just stop, back up. Good work by the official, teamwork. Steginger on the move at the baseline. Back to taken away by Burning. Boy, he's a pesky defender, isn't he?
Both of these clubs really get with it on the defensive end.
Smith trying to post up inside.
Oh, good move. That sequence, he had Tony Jones back against him. He got it in the low post, and at 6'7", no chance for Jones to keep Smith away from the hoop. Look at the room they're giving Chucky White.
Woody Austin off the screen by Scheffler. He has 5.
Austin has really developed during the course of the season.
Spartans forgot to leave anybody back to get the inbounds pass. Poplawski to Montgomery on the drive. His first 2 points of the afternoon. Montgomery, who's played so well since Kirk Mans went down with that foot injury. Boilermaker lead is 4. It was 6 at halftime. Opening 2 minutes of play, second half. Burning wants to go to Scheffler. The big guy on the block for 2, and Scheffler has 8 points.
Good job by Scheffler getting squared up in the air as he spun around inside.
6-point lead again for Purdue. These are the Spartans of Michigan State on the attack.
Scheffler now 3 out of 5 and still not up to his average.
Smith. Nicely done.
Great body control by Smith. He took it inside, looked like he was off balance, and just adjusted in the air to get it to fall.
11 for Smith, who's going to work in the second half with 4 of the first 6 Michigan State points. Smith had 7 on 3 of 8 shooting from the field in the first half. Jones and the reach around foul. It's Montgomery, his 3rd and the 1st on the team in the second half. 17:08 left to go in the second half of play. Judd Heathcote looking on.
I'd have to say he wasn't too pleased with that reach around by Montgomery.
Of course, Gene Cady and Judd Heathcote, whenever the camera pans to them in any game, as long as the game is going on, it doesn't matter. Burning connecting from the outside. Seems like you look at those guys and you say, well, boy, Purdue or Michigan State must be down by 10. And then you look at the scoreboard and they're up by 15. Kirk Mans coming into the ball game for Michigan State. That's the roar of the crowd in the background. Montgomery leaves it short on the tray attempt. Jones lost it out of bounds. Initially, Sid Roda-Heffer made the wrong call. And he quickly changed, and he's got a smile on his face. Here's the man of the hour, Kirk Mans.
Now, I talked to Mans before the game, and I said, how does that foot feel? He didn't say pretty good. He said, not too bad.
I think they want to get Mans some minutes before the NCAA tournament more than anything else. And they may need his outside shooting. No question about that.
Good pass.
When he scores, it's usually thunderous.
Very emotional player. He plays to the crowd a little bit. Now it gets contagious.
White penetrating. Offensive foul. Stegginga threw it beautifully.
Chucky White doing the right thing, taking the ball to the defense. Goes one step too far that time. But if you're not going to shoot it from the open 15-footer, you at least have to take up that space. So he closed the gap. But then a little bit of indecision. Picked up the charging foul, and he goes out.
Wyvern and Oliver are in. Chucky White has a seat on the bench, along with Woody Austin for Purdue.
Spartans trail by 4. They have the basketball with Smith out on top.
Picked up by Burning. Stegginga inside. Poplawski wide open. Burning up high for the rebound.
Good, strong rebound by Ryan Burning.
5 rebounds for Burning. Oliver looking for Scheffler. They're always looking to get it inside of the big guy. Oliver for 3. Bring it up.
You cannot leave him open. So the strategy changes. Chucky White goes out. They put a shooter in his place. And Oliver spotted up outside the three-point line and nailed it.
Oliver came in hitting 34% from three-point range.
That's 5 3-pointers for Purdue.
5 out of 7. Smith leans in. Rebound Poplawski. He was fouled by Scheffler. And on Steven Scheffler, it's his 3rd personal. 3rd on the team here in the second half.
That's just the 2nd offensive rebound of the game for Michigan State, a club that usually picks up quite a few because they're so active.
Mike Poplawski at the free throw line.
3 fouls on Scheffler. Decision time for Gene Cady. And he'll give him a breather as Chucky White checks back in.
Poplawski coming off a pretty good ball game. There's White back into the lineup. 5 of 6 in the field, 11 points, 12 rebounds at Northwestern on Thursday. Played a season-high 30 minutes at Minnesota. They've brought him back slowly from that knee injury, and he's just starting to hit mid-season stride.
You can tell who's playing at home. It's dead quiet when he goes up to the free throw line.
It's like a library in here. 6 points for Poplawski. Michigan State is back to within 5 with 15-17 and left to go.
I say, put on some stakes and get the queen a Bud Light.
Bud Light's clean, fresh taste won't fill you up, never lets you down.
Henry, they're Pop-Tarts.
Everything else is just a light.
I just did something incredible. 5 minutes ago, I had gray hair, but now I don't. And this is what did it. New Option Instant from Clairol. The advanced way to get rid of the gray. Option Instant for men is different. With theirs, you have to pour and mix ingredients, but Option's the advanced way. All you need is this. It's so easy. And only 5 minutes later, your natural-looking color's back.
Hair feels thicker, too.
New Option Instant from Clairol. The advanced way to get rid of the gray.
This year, one airline will pass all the others. We'll have 70,000 more departures than Delta. We'll have 120,000 more departures than American. We'll have 400,000 more departures than United. In fact, this year, U.S. Air will have more departures than any other airline in the free world. So if we sound like an airline that's really taking off, you don't know how right you are. U.S. Air, America's most frequent flyer.
Portions of today's program are brought to you by Apple Computer and by the Las Vegas Convention Bureau. Wayne Larravie and Bill Hoskett were at the Breslin Center in East Lansing, and Purdue leading Michigan State 42-37. Purdue sets it up. Purdue leading it 42-37. They trailed back 12 in the early going of the first half of play. Now they play on the lead. They led by 6 at halftime. Oliver connecting from the outside for 2.
Now Purdue playing under some pressure right now with their leader Steve Scheffler on the bench with 3 fouls. Earlier in the year, they were a completely different club when he had to go to the bench.
Good look. Stegging Smith.
Smith looked like he hurt his hand a little bit. He dunked it with such authority.
This is Tony Jones. Boilermakers played under control. It took them 6 minutes to score their first field goal of the first half of play. They erased a 12-point deficit early in the ball game and came back to lead by the 6 at halftime, 33-27.
Tony Jones trolling out on top, Wayne, and he had 13 big points in that first half. He's the man that really calmed their club down and got them back in it.
Michigan State came out with a lot of emotion, executed very well, and led at one point 14-2. But Purdue has gradually grabbed control. Jones on the drive, Poplawski the rebound. With Scheffler on the bench, Purdue does not have a big man to battle Poplawski inside physically. Take a look at what they've done in the second half from the field. Both teams executing pretty well on the offensive end.
Poplawski coming up high to set that screen.
Stegging left unattended, and Missed it badly, but Poplawski makes it go.
Oh. Good recovery and a good play by a man of that size.
13 and a half minutes to go. Purdue leading it by 3. Boilermakers set up on the half court. Tony Jones guarded by Redfield, as he has been all afternoon, and that's been a very difficult matchup for Purdue to deal with. Redfield, one of the best defensive players against really the catalyst of the Purdue offense in Tony Jones. Here's the matchup again.
Purdue playing with the open middle.
White inside on Poplawski. Clyburn leaves it short. Back tap to Smith. 3-on-1. Redfield.
Basket's good, and we have a foul. Clyburn with a near miss on a dunk attempt. Smith looks off the defender to Redfield, and keeps good concentration.
And Ryan Burning picks up his second personal foul. That is the 4th on the team. And the senior Ken Redfield heads to the free throw line. Judd Heathcote looking on, one of his assistants, Tom Izzo there, and now there's Redfield with 10 points and 2 rebounds on Seniors Day. Burning takes the board. Purdue is still leading by 1.
Steven Scheffler back on the floor.
Scheffler down low.
They didn't waste any time getting it to him.
10 points now for Scheffler. The lead back to 3 for Purdue. Montgomery. Kirk Mans played briefly here in the second half. Smith can't handle, but Montgomery picks it up.
Quick hands of Steve Smith, keeping that one from being a turnover. He at least got a hand on the ball after he lost it. Montgomery recovered.
Smith dealing. Stevens. Good look, Redfield. Oh, what a pass by the freshman.
Little wraparound job by Stevens.
Ken Redfield shaken up on that play, and Ned Hightower talking with him for a moment.
Right around the ear. Redfield went down hard inside.
Yeah, bruised his hip a little bit, huh? Redfield now 6 of 8 from the field. Michigan State back to within 1. Scheffler against Poplawski. Jones. Poplawski the rebound. Montgomery. Redfield.
Well, in a game of this significance, every possession takes on a special meaning.
1-point lead for Purdue. Michigan State with the ball. A little less than 11 and a half minutes to go in the game.
Seeing the intensity of these players.
Smith to Poplawski. Montgomery for 3. Yes. Michigan State leads. Scheffler to get it back inside. Burning. No basket. Got a foul on Ryan Burning. Apparently pushing off down low.
Oh, and Gene Cady just turned and pushed his chair over. Scheffler inside. No contact there. Nothing called. Burning coming over the top, and they wave it off.
10:58 left to go in the ball game. Spartans lead the Boilers by 2.
If you're like me, you appreciate value, whether it's in fine china or a luxury car. That's why you should explore the values available now at your Buick dealer. Regal is Buick's best-selling coupe. Century, the best-selling Buick sedan. 2 ways to discover the value of Buick. Ranked among the most trouble-free American car companies. Lots of dealers promise value, but they're not selling Buicks. Cash in on quality now during Buick's Great American Quality Days.
This is how a Ferrari Testarossa looks on the road. And This is how a Ferrari Testarossa looks to the road, where it ultimately responds through the contact patch of its Goodyear Eagle tires. The exclusive tires chosen for every Testarossa sold in America. Goodyear Eagles. They're another reason we say the best tires in the world have Goodyear written all over them.
A way to move information from one point to another is with Ameritech. Ameritech's Bell companies connect the Great Lakes region with advanced voice and data communications. Our cellular mobile service connects businesses on the move. We provide systems integration, directory publishing, voice messaging, and audio tech services. We move a world of information every day. Many information businesses united to one purpose, providing solutions that work. Ameritech.
Congratulations to Eileen Shea, a junior guard on the Michigan State women's basketball team. A 3.2 GPA and a major in journalism here at Michigan State University. Our Apple Scholar of the Week. Gene Cady has not been happy with some of the calls recently here in this second half of play. He's calm now, but a minute ago he was exploding.
At least he's got his chair back. He just pushed it over a minute ago. Scheffler inside as moments ago. It just did not go. And then Burning picking up the personal.
Kirk Mans misses his first field goal attempt at a foul coming up here on the freshman Dwayne Stevens. And now Judd Heathcote debates with the officials. To be expected. First on Stevens, second on Michigan State here in the second half. Coming up on the halfway mark, second half. Spartans leading by 2. They trailed by 6 at the break.
Are you saying if you were going to referee a game that Gene Cady and Judd Heathcote wouldn't be your first choices?
Austin missing. Oh, here's the baseball feed to Mans.
That's his first basket in 4 games.
Out with a stress fracture of his foot. Redfield denies the pass to the baseline, and Jones knocks it out of bounds.
Both coaches up along the sideline. Gene Cady just talking to his ball club now.
Tell you what, if Mans hits a tray, they'll raise the roof here, won't they? Steve Smith comes out of the ball game. Purdue resumes offensively. Scheffler, the go-to guy. 12 for Steven Scheffler. 2-point ball game in favor of the Spartans. Stegiga waiting to come into the contest for Michigan State. Mans had a notion from the 3-point mark. Redfield backing in. Steal by Tony Jones. And White is there to make it go.
Good job by Chucky White. Tony Jones on the breakout. Got in the passing lane, came up with a basketball. And White didn't relax and just watched his teammate go with it. He followed up.
Ties the game at 50, 9:20 to go. Mans. Redfield on the drive, knocked away. That's goaltending. Goaltending on Chucky White, score the field goal.
Good look from Kirk Mans and a very explosive step by Redfield.
14 for Redfield. Stegiga back into the ball game.
He caught it about 12 feet away and got it to the hoop in a hurry.
Smith also up off the Michigan State bench reporting on as you watch Gene Cady instruct his team. Coming up on 9 minutes left to be played. Michigan State by 2.
Tremendous basketball game. As you would expect, Purdue going for a piece of the Big Ten Conference Championship.
Michigan State going for the outright title. Both teams looking to play well heading into next week's NCAA. Patience by Purdue. Now Scheffler goes to work.
Oh, tough shot and nothing but the bottom. He was under some pressure.
14 for Scheffler. Boilermakers again catch the Spartans, this time at 52. 8.5 to go. Stegiga. Poplowski inside. Good ball movement by the Spartans at the moment. Smith.
Oh, pretty move by Steve Smith.
15 for Smith.
He can shoot it standing still. He can shoot it off the dribble.
Scheffler down low. Jones on the outside. Almost traveled on that play.
Purdue with the triangle set on the left side. Trying to work it into Scheffler.
Tony Jones with the penetration. Got fouled by Steggia. Steggia's second personal foul. Third on the team.
35, Matt Steggia, his second personal foul.
Ed Hightower stepping inside now and talking. And here's the reason he was talking, as you see Scheffler and Poplawski going at it.
Poplawski is 6'10", 270. Steve Scheffler is 6'9", 250 plus.
Good job of officiating right there. They're fully aware of the meaning of the ball game.
This crew's done an excellent job today. There's no question in many respects. You have your questionable calls, especially on, whether a defensive player had position on an offensive foul or not. But aside from that, these officials have controlled this ball game from the standpoint of the physical nature. Tony Jones has 14 points, his first point of the second half. He single-handedly kept Purdue alive in the first half.
Gene Cady making a decision to rest Scheffler again, so he goes out for a breather.
.15 for Tony Jones, and once again the Boilermakers catch the Spartans, this time at 54. 7:51 as the drama builds in the Breslin Center.
Frank, I send you for a Bud Light, and you bring back...
Bud Light won't fill you up, never lets you down.
So, there are no men here, there's an unlimited supply of Bud Light, and we can never leave.
Correct.
Everything else is just a light.
We can live with that.
Yeah.
Years ago, seemed there was always someone you could really trust to take good care of your car. Well, there still is. And for over 75 years now, folks of the Midwest have been turning to Unical for friendly, trustworthy service that's second to none.
Hi, Henry. Hi, Murph. You know, the older she gets, the better she looks.
Thomasville makes furniture of quiet beauty. Furniture of fine, subtle craftsmanship.
I got it!
Thomasville creates furniture of classic, dignified lines. Furniture that's expertly put together.
What did I do? Wait a minute. No.
Thomasville, beautiful furniture, beautifully made at Estes Furniture.
Once again, time now for a Goodrich performance test. What years did Michigan State appear in the NCAA Final Four? The answer? Michigan State appeared in the Final Four in 1956, 57, and 78, 79. 7:51 left to go. Folks around here hope that this season, 89-90, will be the third appearance by the Spartans. Take a look at this. Smith. 17 for Steve Smith.
That's 10 here in the second half. He's starting to get into a rhythm.
Oliver guarded by Steggia. Here's Tony Jones. 7:25 to go for the game.
Good pressure on the basketball by Michigan State.
Oliver off the mark. Got a foul coming up on Redfield. Ken Redfield's second personal. That is the fourth on the team. Judd Heathcote to make a quick change. Up off the bench, Dwayne Stevens coming on. Scheffler coming back in for Purdue.
Well, the shot went out from outside beyond the three-point range. And Purdue really crashed the boards, and Ken Redfield picked up the personal foul, trying to block out inside.
Burning leaves for Purdue. Steggia steps off the floor for Michigan State. Spartans have hit 72% from the field in the second half. Boilers on the attack, trailing by 2. Jones, blocking foul coming up here on Redfield. And that now is Ken Redfield's third personal and the fifth on the team.
Now Judd Heathcote with a tough decision.
Oh, good call. You can tell defensive position was not established there.
I think Redfield has to be complimented when you're asked to guard a guy like Tony Jones.
And he's been doing it all afternoon.
Tremendously versatile for a corner man
to come out on a guard.
Judd Heathcote feels he's the best defender in the league.
Jones on the fall away. His first second-half field goal. He has 17 in the game.
Seven minutes remaining in regulation.
You took the words out of my mouth. Redfield at the point. Poplawski, they'll give him that all day. Mans for three. Yes.
He's the leading three-point shooter in the Big Ten from a percentage standpoint, and he nails it.
5 for Kirk Mans in part-time duty. Jones to Scheffler. Oliver inside on Smith over Stevens for 2. Fine move by Jimmy Oliver. Now with 7 points. 6:20 to go.
We got another look at that great discipline of Purdue right there. Scheffler didn't force it, nor did Jones.
Mans off a screen by Stevens. Doesn't have it. Poplawski out high, the outlet. Now Smith on the wing. He is so dangerous. Bobby Knight says he's the toughest player in the country to cover on the wing. Smith lost the handle on it. It's picked up by Clyburn. Here come the Boilermakers. White on the drive. Score it, and a foul. Yes, it counts.
Foul will go against Stevens, who just couldn't get there in time. Good opportunity break by Chucky White. Clyburn gives it up to him.
He almost got there in time, but not quite. Almost doesn't count. The foul goes against number 31 in the white uniform as Gene Katie looks on, and Wayne Stevens, second personal, 6 on the team now, and Chucky White of the free throw line. White is 1 out of 2 from the foul line. Boilermakers, I tell you, Gene Katie preaches 4-year participation in his program, although Chucky White is an exception to that. He preaches senior leadership, poise, and discipline. And this team embodies all of that. 7 points here for White. They'd like to get a little bit more off the board from him. Air ball. You don't like to do that on the road.
Mrs. Gene Katie.
And the glasses and the gold jacket on. Here's Montgomery. Michigan State trailing by 1 now. Got a foul on Jones moving in defensively to double team on Smith. And on Jones, that would be his 3rd. 6 on the team now here in the second half. 5:35 left to go. We're starting to seesaw now in the second half. Take a look at the team foul situation, even at 6 apiece. Mans to Stegginga. Rebound taken out by Oliver. Here's Jones.
Poplawski is out of there right now. So Scheffler is the go-to guy, and he's got Stevens on him.
White. Woody Austin. Wayne Larrabee, Bill Hoskett at the Breslin Center. Purdue leading Michigan State by 1. Michigan State got off quickly in this ball game, led by 12 in the first half. Purdue led by 6 as they came back in the late stages of the first half. Oliver from the outside for 2. Each time Michigan State has made a run, Purdue has had an answer. And now the Boilermakers have a 3-point lead.
And that really takes place from the fact that Scheffler's out there on the floor setting up in the low post. Michigan State feels they have to double team. Oliver was wide open.
Mans, he's hit 1 3-pointer today, and this one, nope. Scheffler the rebound. That would have only counted for 2 anyway.
Steve Smith waiting at the table for Michigan State to re-enter. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Jones out front, been guarded by Redfield all day. Woody Austin. Scheffler a bit out of his range. Nonetheless, for 2.
You see why he's player of the year in the Big Ten.
16 for Scheffler.
Big Steven Scheffler put it on the floor, one dribble, got into his range, and knocked it down, and Judd Heathcote wants to talk it over.
5-point lead for the visitors from West Lafayette with 4:02 left to be played.
Some people think only foreign companies build quality cars. Now, according to an independent survey, an American car company offers you a choice of some of the most trouble-free cars you can own. That American car company is Buick. And the 1990 versions of those American cars are Buick LeSabre, Buick Riviera, and Buick Electra Park Avenue. We believe there's a new symbol for quality on the great American road.
BF Goodrich TA tires perform like great athletic shoes. They grab. They dig. BF Goodrich TA tires. BF Goodrich TA tires, the athletic shoes for your car. BF Goodrich TA tires.
Seeing your business information system in a whole new light. That's Ameritech. Designing a system that speeds medical insurance claims with no paperwork. Making libraries at 2 universities work like one. Managing a county government's network as it grows. Consulting, designing, managing voice and data systems that work far into the future to help you see the light. Ameritech. Solutions that work.
Wayne Larrivee, Bill Hoskett. It is a 5-point ball game in favor of Purdue with 4:02 left to go. And there is the timeout situation down the stretch. Both teams, well, the next foul will put both teams in the bonus situation, and the possession arrow at the moment in favor of Michigan State. Spartan basketball to start the final 4:02. There's a look at the Michigan State bench. Smith 5 of 6 from the field here in the second half. Big-time player, no question about it. There he goes again. This time, but right field with a wild tap. 16 for the senior from Chicago.
In Redfield, just trying to get a hand on the basketball to keep it alive. Almost from a standing position, he banks it in off the glass.
That comes from all those hours of practice, right?
That's right.
Woody Austin covered tightly by Montgomery. Austin, a good outside shooter. Ball triggers loose. Austin recovers. These Boilermakers, the poise displayed by this team has been incredible here today. They've had so many occasions to fold. Foul on Poplawski reaching in. That is his third and puts Michigan State over the foul limit, sending Steven Scheffler to the free throw line.
Excellent court spacing that time by Purdue as they opened up the left side of the floor and just had Jones out on the wing at the proper angle. Scheffler posting up inside, calling for the ball. Poplawski was caught in behind. Nothing he could do. He lets him catch it. This guy has been so hot here in the second half.
Scheffler is 2 of 2 at the line here today. Not only is he an excellent field goal shooter, leading the nation in field goal shooting at 77% coming into this week's action, but Scheffler is also 5th in the Big Ten.
Well, he is
free throw shooting.
He is a Boilermaker. We talked about it before the game. You put a hard hat on that guy and put that sledgehammer up over his shoulder, you'd have their mascot.
No question about that.
What a season he's had.
Smith. Redfield looking for room, guarded by Burning. Stegging in, now Montgomery will reset the offense. Coming up on 3 minutes left to go. Spartans are trailing by 5.
Here's the go-to guy, Steve Smith.
Leaned in for that one. 19 for Smith. Under 3 minutes to go.
Both clubs have gone man-to-man throughout.
Haven't been any gimmick defenses here today. Straight up man-to-man, high noon in the Breslin Center.
As you'd expect from these two coaches.
Good teams usually mirror their coaches, and these two teams no exception. Tony Jones in the lane, a pressure shot.
Big hoop. Judd Heathcote.
Again, the Spartans for the second time in the second half forgot to leave anyone back to take the inbounds pass. They got help from the home folks, though.
Judd Heathcote making zone famous in 78-79. Said he just didn't have the personnel to play straight man-to-man. Now you see Smith making a move inside. There was a reach-in foul.
Foul coming up. I believe it's on Tony Jones, if I'm not mistaken. It is on Jones. That's his fourth.
He was in the act of shooting.
Both teams are over the foul limit now. Under 2 minutes to go. Tony Jones with 4 personal fouls.
Steve Smith plays somewhat upright. Thin guy at 6'7", but just phenomenal quickness. He's got great size, and he has that ability to get it inside.
Great leaping ability, too. That's something that people don't talk about enough. He has 20 points now, 2 of 2 at the free throw line.
He recovered from an injury during the course of the season, had a broken finger.
21 for Smith. The lead is 3 for the Boilermakers. Purdue got off to an 8-0 conference start. They were being pursued throughout. The Spartans overtook them with a 9-game winning streak. And Purdue came here today trailing by 1 game, knowing that a victory would give them a share of the conference title. Ryan Burning. Woody Austin, good hand.
Catch by Austin.
Scheffler bumped. Jones trying to get the step on Stegginger. Can't. 10 to go on the shot clock. Jones. Rebound chased down by Montgomery. Got a 2-on-1. Montgomery.
Oh, big play. 2-on-1. He did the right thing. He's left-handed. It was on the strong side for him. He took it all the way with good body control, knocked it in off the glass. Stevens did a good job of filling the lane with him.
Time left in the lower right corner of your screen. Purdue by 1. Stegginger commits the foul that'll send Tony Jones to the line. Matt reaching in, picks up his 3rd personal. Tony Jones will head to the free throw line. If he has struggled anywhere in his game, it has been at the free throw line. But here today, Tony Jones is 5 out of 6 from the free throw line.
25, Tony Jones.
Wayne Larrabee and Bill Hoskett at the Jack Breslin Center. Tony Jones at the line in a 1-point ball game. Purdue on the lead with 50 seconds to go. The senior. And he will have another. He came in. It's hard to believe he was only hitting 58.5% of his free throws. 6 of 7 today. Boy, the great ones rise and the big ones. 21 now for Tony Jones. 50 seconds left to be played. We come to a break of the action. The visitors from West Lafayette again have a 3-point lead over the homestanding Spartans of Michigan State.
If you're like me, you appreciate value, whether it's in fine china or a luxury car. That's why you should explore the values available now at your Buick dealer. Regal is Buick's best-selling coupe. Century, the best-selling Buick sedan. 2 ways to discover the value of Buick, ranked among the most trouble-free American car companies. Lots of dealers promise value, but they're not selling Buicks. Cash in on quality now during Buick's Great American Quality Days.
Come share the spirit of a distant land, Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, Florida.
Celebrate the sun, right, celebrate the day. Celebrate the life you live. Let your soul play, let your soul sing, let your soul laugh, let your soul love, let your soul dance. Your soul is filled with happiness when the day comes to an end. But soon enough tomorrow comes and your soul can dance again.
Busch Gardens at Tampa Bay, no place else.
Wayne Larrabee, Bill Hoskett, the championship game for the Big Ten Conference. A victory by Purdue and its co-champions. Victory by Michigan State. It's an outright championship for them. There's a look at the Purdue huddle. They lead by 3. Michigan State, interesting situation here with 50 seconds to go. They can go for a 3 to tie here at home.
Well,
and they have not shot well from there today.
Smith has been their man. They've didn't have a three-pointer in the first half of play. Kirk Mans has checked back into the game. He leads the conference. Of course, he's recovering from that stress fracture. He has a three-pointer today. And Michigan State 2 out of 7 overall from three-point range. Purdue, on the other hand, 5 of 9. First meeting between the two clubs, Purdue with just one three-pointer. Today they've knocked in 5, and they lead it by 3. Michigan State basketball. Kirk Mans. And Matt Stegginger take it up. Stegginger, the big guy on the dribble. Smith and Mans both down inside right now, trying to free up to come to the ball. There's Kirk Mans trying to get the step to the baseline. Oh, big hoop. He cuts it to 1. 7 for Mans. Another timeout taken, and I believe by Michigan State. 32 seconds to go. It is a one-point ball game as Judd Heathcote gathers his team around. They trail by 1. Well, it's interesting. It's obviously what they wanted to do was get a good shot, regardless of whether it's a 3. And of course, Purdue was defending on the perimeter, well aware that Mans was out there. For a while, Mans got caught inside, almost didn't get out. That's right. Once he got it, he took it on the dribble, something he really doesn't do all that well or all that often. But Kirk Mans scoring that little fadeaway as he took it to the left baseline. Well, you have to admire the senior with the courage to come off being gone for 3 or 4 ball games with a bad foot. Took it upon himself to let it loose. There's our situation now. Michigan State just took that timeout. They are down to 1, and Purdue has 3. Both teams over the foul limit, and the possession arrow at the moment in favor of Michigan State. 32 seconds left to go. Purdue leading by 1. Again, it's been a game of streaks for both sides. Michigan State led at one point of the first half, 14-2. The Boilermakers gradually battled back in, and in fact led by 6 at halftime. Purdue extended the lead a little bit in the second half of play to 7 was their largest lead, and Michigan State fought back, and they began to seesaw at the 10-minute mark. And now Purdue has held the upper hand down the stretch, leading by as many as 3 to 5 points. Now their lead down to 1. Michigan State coming with full court pressure. Ryan Burning will toss in. 32 seconds remaining in the game. Purdue basketball, they have the 1-point lead. Pressure in the backcourt as expected by the Spartans. Smith with those long arms at 6'6". Burning uses the baseline. Gets it to Tony Jones. The trap is on. And got a reach-in foul coming up. No, timeout taken. He called timeout taken by Purdue. Jim Bain. Tony Jones in a very difficult position on the court, hidden in by the baseline and the sideline, and 2 Michigan State defenders made the alert play and called for the timeout. And now Gene Cady has 2 timeouts remaining. His counterpart on the other end, Judd Heathcote, has 1. 30 seconds remaining to be played. As you look at it from Purdue's standpoint, they could afford to work the clock because obviously there is no shot clock right now. They can work right down to the bare minimum. Meanwhile, if you're Michigan State, I guess you've got to foul fairly early. The Boilermakers have made their free throws in the second half. They've only missed 1 second-half free throw and made 6. Well, I don't think Michigan State's intention there was to foul. No. Simply at that point, they had him in an excellent trap. Tony Jones some 90 feet away from his basket, so Michigan State had the advantage. Purdue has hit 13 of 17 from the charity stripe here this afternoon. And again, they've only missed once here in the second half of play. Tony Jones, normally a great free throw shooter by any outstretch of the imagination, has hit 6 in a row. Well, this game has been one of streaks, and of course the Big Ten season for these 2 teams has been one of streaks. Purdue getting out to an 8-0 record early in conference play, and Michigan State has won their last 9. Burning again will attempt the inbounds again. Smith will contest at the baseline. Number 21 at the top of your screen in white. Burning looking on the inbound. Tipped out of bounds. Oh, and Jim Bain said that Smith got a piece of it. Steve tried an acting job, but it didn't work. Jim is a veteran official. He's not going to be sucked in by somebody's acting job. Now Purdue goes in a straight line variation. Try to get it in bounds. Tony Jones breaking before Burning was handed the ball. So Redfield now knows which way he's headed. Smith acted like, I didn't touch that ball. Of course you did. Hang on now. Timeout is called as Kepler wants the floor checked. Apparently some moisture, and they're going to dry it up a little bit, wipe it up. Hey, when the player of the year talks, I guess the referees listen. And Hightower did in that case.
Burning looks on the inbound. Gets it to Tony Jones. Redfield right on him defensively. Takes it away. Picked up by Scheffler up for grabs. Stevens comes away with it. Stevens. Slam! Michigan State by 1. Oh, what a big play by the freshman. Woody Austin for 3. Redfield the rebound. Got a foul coming up on Burning. 3 seconds to go.
This place is going absolutely bananas. They couldn't get it off the floor. Jones and Scheffler both were trapped. And here was after the steal, here was the play by Stevens.
Bedlam here in the Breslin Center. Timeout taken by Purdue with 3 seconds to go.
It's ever so tough being ranked #1 and not being rank. What assists me is the maximum protection and aromatically airy sense of Right Guard Sports Stick from Gillette. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Amy, I hear your new teacher's real mean.
Amy, would you come up here and bring your picture with you, please?
Look at the picture.
There's a special power that can bring students and teachers closer together. The power to be your best.
Hey, how's your new teacher? Oh, she's okay.
In civilized society, any groovy lapse can result in a mortifying loss of safety. But with Right Guard Sports Stick, one gets maximum protection. Well, off to the foxes. Right Guard Sports Stick. Anything less will be uncivilized.
Today's Big Ten Conference game has been brought to you by Bud Light, by Buick, by Gillette, and by U.S. Air. Steve Smith at the free throw line. Ryan Burning committed his 5th personal foul. He is out of the game. Barrett is in the contest for Purdue. He is a good outside shooter. Steve Smith at the free throw line. Take a look at some of the action here down below. Might have been right there. Burning bumping on the play, and that stopped the clock as Smith captured the basketball.
Well, they really had no choice in that sequence.
They had to foul.
After the shot from the outside was missed.
Woody Austin tried a three-pointer.
Michigan State very aggressive on that inbounds play moments ago when Purdue was trying to get it up the floor.
Michigan State's been 9 out of 10, 10 out of 11 from the line here today, despite the fact that they have shot 68% overall for the season from the free throw line. 3 seconds left to go. Smith misses it. Oliver rebound. Barrett lets it go, and the Spartans are Big Ten champions.